Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan TV show. Our mission is to surround ourselves by motivated entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the good ones and the bad ones. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others, because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group that has been meeting for over 25 years. So boy, am I tired. No, I am joking. I love what I do, and I'm so glad that now entrepreneurship has taken on new traction. Every day, if you listen to the news, I guarantee you'll hear the word entrepreneur mentioned. This is the greatest country in the whole world. I'm a firm believer that despite what the politicians are trying to do to change what made us great, we will overcome, as was once said. Our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, has various opportunities for our meetings and also for making connections. One of my really great contacts is our guest for today's segment, Dr. Zolanya Allen. She's the Executive Director of the Southeast Michigan Entrepreneurs Association and CEO of Global Diversified Staffing. She has been a professional speaker for 15 years with a focus on leadership development. She is a graduate of the University of Michigan, Wayne State University, and also North Central University. She holds degrees in psychology, sociology, and industrial relations. Are you sure I'm smart enough to talk to you, Doctor?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. I was waiting. It was a hesitant yes, but that's great. I have had the privilege of seeing you in action, and I must give you credit. You have that ability to get up in front of a group of people, make them feel comfortable, and at the same time share ideas. And I just wondered, what was the motivational factor for you to start the Southeast Michigan Entrepreneurs Association?
Well, I was in the process of starting a new business venture, and there was a lot of information that I needed and a lot of things that I didn't know. So I began to do some research and found out about a lot of different resources that were available to entrepreneurs that I didn't know about previously. So I decided to do an entrepreneurs conference to bring people together and have speakers to provide information on marketing and financing and different ways to start a business, develop your business plan. And after that, we wanted something ongoing, sort of a support system for entrepreneurs. So out of that came the Southeast Michigan Entrepreneurs Association, which is an organization that meets on a monthly basis to provide ongoing support for startup businesses as well as established businesses.
So you actually followed what you promote at the meetings I've attended. In other words, you didn't just start without doing research, even though with your background you had a pretty good understanding of what it took to be successful. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I've also been a member of a lot of organizations, and there were things that I saw that could have been done a little bit better. I saw where the support for the membership could have been a little stronger. So I wanted to put together a group where we provided the ongoing support, and we actually got to know each other, talked on a regular basis, exchanged information and referrals, and do business with each other. So I wanted a group that was a little bit different from what I was seeing out there. So I definitely did my research and tried to put together something that you don't see in other organizations.
And as far as your meeting times, can you go into that a little bit? When do you meet and what's the format?
Yes, we meet the fourth Thursday of every month in Southfield for a couple of hours, but we have a number of meetings and events. We also have what's called a mastermind group, and we meet the first Saturday of every month at 1 p.m. And I like this group even better than our monthly membership meetings because we really get into the different aspects of everyone's business and we brainstorm. For example, we have what's called a hot seat, and our members can go sit on the hot seat and let us know whatever issues they're having in their business, and together as a group we'll brainstorm and try to help them solve those issues, and we've seen a lot of success from that. But in addition to our monthly meetings and our mastermind meetings, we also have events throughout the year. We have a Women's Expo, an Entrepreneurs Expo, and a number of networking mixers so that people can meet like-minded individuals and continue to grow their business.
Well, it's great actually that mastermind group meets Saturday afternoons, and this is all in the Southfield, so and it's accessible. I just remember the one situation where this one person that was in the hot seat felt that he was having an overwhelming problem and really seemed sort of stuck. And because of the comments people made, suddenly you could see the person coming to the realization that, hey, maybe I didn't think of doing that. And that's a really wonderful thing that you've accomplished. I figured that with your psychology background, that must have some benefit in doing those things. Is that correct?
Absolutely. But that is one of the things that differentiates our networking group from other business groups is the mastermind. And everyone in the group is an expert in some area. So everyone's able to pitch in and help that individual with whatever issue that they're having.
Yes, well, you know, as they say, that if you think about it, the next worst thing to not knowing is not knowing that you don't know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the reason people get stuck in some dilemma of their business is they are not aware of that, hey, I really don't know this and I'm going ahead with that. And with your psychology background, I always joke about it that how many psychologists does it take to change a light bulb? The answer is one, but the light bulb has got to want to change.
That's
so the
right.
truth is that a lot of people are not successful only because they really don't know what they want. And I just wondered if you had some advice to share for a budding entrepreneur or someone who is not quite sure going into the field. What advice would you give them?
Well, you're correct in stating that my background in psychology is a big help in leading this group because I find that in order to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have the right mindset. You have to define what you want, know exactly what you want, set clear-cut goals, and then go after it with everything that you have and believe that you can achieve it. So you have to have that belief in yourself and the belief in your idea. And that's where the psychology comes in. And we talk about ways to build your confidence in yourself and in your idea through visualization exercises, through affirmations, through writing down your goals and actually setting those goals. And we help people in our mastermind group set their goals. Sometimes people don't set their goals correctly. They don't have a deadline for their goals, or they're not specific enough. So definitely my background in psychology helps.
Right. And for those of us who have not had a background in psychology, what came to my mind in hearing you talk about the whole approach to being successful is that once you do know what you want, try whichever way is possible to really work that type of business so that you know the inner workings. I know in a lot of the meetings I've networked with, and there are a lot of great organizations, and someone invariably, if they want to start a business, they'll pick the restaurant business. Why? Well, people are always going to be needing food. They pick up these little gems, go into a business that there's a big market for. People eat 3 times a day. So, meanwhile, they have no clue about what to do in the kitchen. So get into the kitchen, and if need be, go extra 20 miles or so. And I've found a lot of entrepreneurs who really started working for someone, telling them that I'd be willing to work for you at no charge. I'm thinking of starting a business. Pick an area where obviously you're not going to be competing against the very person that you're applying to, but no one says that you can't go 40 miles out, and if you really have a passion and know what you want, and say, you know, I'm thinking of doing this as a business for myself, would I be able to work for you? And you know, I've had some interesting feedback on that. Some people have actually hired those people, and with the intent of making them a partner in a future venture. We didn't get a chance to talk about your staffing business, but we've plumb run out of time right now.
Okay.
We'll have to, they started one, and I'm really proud of you that you practice entrepreneurship. Right now, we have to take a brief break, and we'll be right back with our next guest, Dr. Zalanya Allen. It's been a delight.
Thank you.
Our small business has been downtown 100 years, and we're really proud of how well it's doing in these hard economic times. But healthcare premiums have been rising. We were glad when the Affordable Care Act passed. We became eligible for a tax credit. We used that tax credit to hire a new employee. In our experience, the Affordable Care Act is a job creator. If you would like to know more about the Affordable Care Act for your business, go to knowyourcare.org.
Welcome back, and I am really excited and also feel very flattered that I have Elena Campbell, who's the Executive Director of the Orion Chamber of Commerce. Wow, that's incredible. All my life I've wanted to meet the Executive Director of the Orion Chamber. So, as you know in the biz, when you go to these network meetings, everyone is asked to give a 60-second elevator pitch. So pretend you just walked in, Elena Campbell, and said, "Hi, what is your 60-second elevator pitch?"
Well, we certainly do that at a lot of our meetings, so I'm well prepared to give a 60-second elevator speech. I was just hired by the Chamber about 2 years ago in 2010 to be their first executive director. Previous to that, they had a managing director. So they decided to go in a little bit different direction and hire an executive director. And I did that after being at home for 14 years with my children.
Oh, you had quite a chamber there.
So, yeah, so it was quite a change for me. Previous to that, I was a lobbyist in Lansing and in Washington, D.C. for higher education. So I do have some background in politics as well. I worked for a nonprofit organization at that time. So, so that has helped a lot in my current position. Something that people probably don't know about me is that I can milk a cow.
You can milk a cow.
I
did
can
you
milk
do that
a cow.
in Lansing? You didn't do that in Lansing,
No,
did you?
I did not. I did not.
So I think, in my opinion, I think a lot of those politicians should be out there milking cows instead of the legislature.
They probably should be. They probably should be.
My classic definition of a politician is that when a politician says yes, he really means maybe. When he says maybe, he really means no. And if he says no, he ain't a politician.
That's right. That's right. Very true.
I would imagine that with your lobbying experience, it's given you experience in dealing with people's personalities and how to get an idea across. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. That was something that I really learned from working in the legislature, is how to bring people together to create a win-win situation for everybody,
Right.
which I think is so important, as we're seeing happen at our national level right now.
Oh, yes.
There's not a lot of that going on,
Right.
and people are have been disappointed in the lack of the ability for people to work together. So it's very important to be able to bring people together and create a win-win situation, and that's something that we deal with all the time in the chamber.
And you know, this may be way out in left field, but that's unfortunately how my mind thinks, so you'll have to bear with it. And that is, I think one of the issues, undercurrents, and I don't know how you correct it, but I can sort of see parts of the problem, is that the politicians today have lost focus that they are there to represent the constituency or the people. You take it to the national level, you know, like John F. Kennedy so famously said, ask not what your country, what you can do for your country, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Yes.
Why not remember that and work as a team? And you know, in entrepreneurship, one of the worst mistakes many business people make is that they're just so concerned about themselves that they lose sight of the fact that they're there as a spokesman. And likewise, what do you learn from that? That in business, likewise, I like to use acronyms. You always hear WIIFM. What's in it for me? To be super successful, I like to use the term WIIFT, which stands for what's in it for them. So when you go to an Orion chamber or any chamber meeting, when after that 60-second commercial that you give of yourself, figure out as quickly as possible, how can I help whoever
The
on
other person.
the bridge?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the events with the Orion Chamber as to when you meet, that kind of stuff.
We have several different events that we do. The most popular one is our monthly luncheon. We hold it the first Thursday of every month. A couple of times a year we schedule it as a breakfast. Those are very well attended. We move them around to different local restaurants in our community who are members of the chamber. And we bring in speakers to talk about different business-related topics. As you can imagine, one of the big topics right now is social media.
Right.
You know, lots of businesses are clamoring to learn how to use social media effectively. So we've brought in various speakers to talk about that. We also do periodic networking events, special events, for example, like go to a Tigers game together. Those create great opportunities to build relationships when you spend time with people at an event like that. We just held a skeet shooting event, which was a brand new experience for many of our members, and brought some members out that we hadn't seen in a very long time, because they love to go skeet shooting. So that was a very successful event. Our biggest signature event that we do every year is our Community Business Expo. It's held at our local high school during parent-teacher conferences, which is a win-win situation. The school district loves that we come in and do our expo during that time because they know it helps bring parents in for that parent-teacher conference at the end of the year. And it's a win-win for us because our exhibitors and businesses know that they have a captive audience that's going to be coming to the school already that evening. So it's a very fun event. We make it very family-friendly. with lots of free food. The parents know they don't have to cook dinner that night. We have kids' activities going on so that if you have smaller children, there's something fun for them to do. And then 2 years ago, we just added a pizza war.
Oh, wow.
So yes, we've got our local pizzerias come in, and you can sample each pizza and you vote on your favorite pizza, and the winner gets a trophy to display in their business for the year.
Wow.
So we did that specifically for the students.
Well, that's a great idea. Now tell me about the lunch meetings. What's the time format? How do you meet?
We meet 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Typically the first Thursday of every month. Once in a while it's the second Thursday due to a holiday. The first half hour is networking, informal networking. You can go around and meet different individuals. We're very good at greeting new members, seeking out new faces that we haven't seen, and making sure to take them and introduce them around. It can be very scary to walk into a room where you know no one.
Right.
And it's so helpful to have someone come and greet you warmly and then say, let me take you around and introduce you to some different business people that you'd probably like to meet. So we're very warm and friendly in that way, and helping people make those important connections that they're there to make. That's
great. So I assume you meet sort of in a private area so that people can hear each other speak. Is that right?
Yes.
Because I've attended some of these events where you're just part of the crowd and you really don't get a chance to communicate. So you're very wise in doing that. Can you share some of the topics? You said social media before. Do you also have topics related to marketing and that kind of thing?
Yep, marketing and advertising, public relations, tax issues we've dealt with in the past. That's always a big topic that businesses are interested in. And I think I can see on the horizon maybe some topics covering healthcare reform.
Oh, wow. Well, you know.
So we're talking about how we can help our businesses wade through that and try to help them make some good decisions on what to do.
Right, right. Now, the Orion Chamber has been around for a while, has it?
Since 1950.
Oh, I see.
We celebrated 60 years in 2010. So
wow.
It's been a very strong organization with a great history.
Well, you know, I encourage anybody, whatever area they either live at or, of course, in business, that's what a chamber is all about, should really join. The truth of it is, a lot of people, when they join these organizations, expect instant results. I assume you've run into that.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And you're very right. And we all know businesses that think if they put an open sign on the door, people will flood in to their business, but that's, rarely the case. You have to get out there in your community. You have to meet people, not only other business owners, but you have to connect with the community as well. And I think sometimes people don't realize the chamber is very well connected in a community and can be your conduit to help you meet individuals that you need to meet in a community where you want to open a business or where you are opening a business. You may be having an issue with the sign ordinance. The chamber, you can come to the chamber and the chamber can help you because we know all the people at the township level, at the village level, to work with, to help work with you to work those issues out. And that's what we're there for, is to help our businesses in those ways.
Well, I would imagine, depending on which community you're at, and if you call the local politician or the right person at the township office, and you tell them, I'm a member of the chamber, suddenly, like Rodney Dangerfield used to say, you get to be more important.
Yes, and there are studies that show in consumers' minds as well that when a business is a member of the chamber, your credibility goes up in their
Right,
mind.
right.
So it is very helpful to be a chamber of the member for a member of the chamber for your general reputation as well. And we get a lot of phone calls asking us for referrals. You know, people figure, you know, the chamber knows, you know, most
Right.
of the businesses in town.
Yes.
If I'm looking for a good dentist or a good doctor or someone to cut my lawn, or I need some repairs done on my house, you know, I'm going to call the chamber first to find out who they might recommend. Because we do know most of these businesses
Well, sure.
quite well.
And of course, you know, they say building a good reputation takes almost a lifetime. Ruining a reputation just takes 1 to 2 minutes.
Right.
So if you are bad, you're going to be found out. I could speak with you for an hour, but we just plumb run out of time. It's been a delight to have you on the air.
Thank you.
And I only have enough time to leave with my favorite thought, which is that if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it's the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.